Tony winner Lea Salonga, George Takei and the cast of Allegiance will soon begin performances on Broadway. We're here today at the Longacre Theatre to find out all about this moving new musical. George, your Broadway debut in an incredibly special project.
Indeed it is. At 78, I'm a debutante, but a debutante with this particular project, which has been my life mission.
Talk to me about the world of Allegiance. Where's it set?
Well, we are set, we start off in Salinas, California, and we meet this Japanese-American family, the Kimuras. And then, of course, we watch the Kimuras go through the bombing of Pearl Harbor, what happens to the relocation of 120,000 Japanese Americans from the West Coast after the bombing of Pearl Harbor because they were thought to be a threat to national security. And they then get relocated to a camp called Heart Mountain in Wyoming.
There's a dad, Tatsuo, there's grandpa, Oji-chan, and then we have Sammy and Kay, who love each other so much, then they get thrown in camp and their lives begin to change. They each find love for the first time.
I think it's an era of history that people don't know about, and I think that's it's important that we know about it as American people. And I think the fact that we have George Takei, who lived through this era of history, is especially important.
What was it about this show that brought you back to Broadway?
You know, I was so moved by George Takei's personal story and how his personal connection to this, and you know, having worked on the show now for 5 years, I've been part of its development, you know, for readings and workshops, and we went out of town in San Diego, and getting to know George and getting to know his personal story and knowing that this is his legacy project. And now he's not only a colleague but a friend and somebody I consider like family to me. That's what's kept me attached for all of these years for this show.
Why do you think Allegiance will speak to people?
I think it has a lot of contemporary resonance today. We're asking a lot of the same questions that we were asking 70 years ago about what it means to be an American, what it means to be an other, what it means to be suspected because of your nationality.
What makes Allegiance right for Broadway in 2015?
You know, what's exciting, I think, about the shift in what is happening on Broadway is that subject matter that has grit to it, that has a serious nature to it, is something that audiences, I believe, are excited about. They're craving. I think there's room for everybody up, you know, on Broadway.
Like in any Broadway musical, they can expect amazing music. A lot of it's Asian influenced, but there's also a lot of it that's big band, 40s, brass, trumpets, saxophones, hot rhythms and percussion. It's just so much fun.
What we hope that audiences will take away from Allegiance is there's a wonderful Japanese word called gaman, which means to endure with dignity and pride, to endure hardship, you know, whatever the world throws at you, that we as human beings and as a people are strong.
And this family, the Kimura family, is transformed by that event and in many ways fractured by it. But ultimately the bonds of love bring us all together.